Yo, what's up guys? Thanks for tuning in to my YouTube page. This tutorial that you're about to watch is a step-by-step, I guess mid taper. So right here, I just start by combing through the waves to get rid of any, snags or anything you might come across when you start cutting it down. And so I'm gonna start off by cutting his hair down with a 1.5 guard, going with the grain, obviously. With deeper waves, sometimes you can go against the grain, but that's a whole different subject. But for the most part, with waves, you always want to go with the grain of the hair, and that includes in the crown area where the hair grows in almost a circle. For the most part, you want to make note of any whorls that they have in their head. Some people have one, some people have two. They're not always in the same spot, so make sure you're taking note of that, especially when cutting down people's waves. It's really important when you're cutting down the waves to pay attention and do the most, I guess, tedious job you can as far as cutting the hair down, because you want the waves to lay down real smooth. Now, of course, you can go back and use some other tricks to get the flyaways to lay down and get the hair to look smooth, but for the most part, you want to make sure that everything is even. So after you put your first guideline in using your trimmers, you're going to go in with your clippers, and with no guard all the way open, you're going to make your first guideline. I like to do it maybe like a half inch to like 3/4 of an inch in height, and get that in there real good. And the next thing you're going to do is take your clippers, and with no guard all the way closed, you're going to work at that very bottom line and use the end of your blade, almost like the corners, to get that line out. And then you're going to see me slightly tap the lever open a little bit, just to get a little bit longer length until I get right up under that first guideline that I had set. So now it's time to get rid of that first line that we got in there. You're going to throw on your one guard and close it up all the way and work with your corners against the grain of that line. Once you're able to get that line all blended out, you're going to still keep your one guard closed, and you're just going to work with the grain in that area. I'm still kind of using just the corners of my blade. I'm not using the full blade on this one. Just kind of lay some of that hair down so that when you do go back to blend upwards with this one guard open, it's all smooth. And then sometimes, obviously, you take the guards off and put it back on, just to get those areas that you might have missed previously. And then one of the things that I like to do for the hairline is use a holding spray and then just blow dry that. It'll give the lineup a little bit, sharper look, and it holds the hair down so that when you line it up, it's not moving out the way. And so now I'm going to move on to the back taper. You set that first guideline in there. Make sure the line goes straight across. And then flip your trimmers upside down and knock out all the hair that's right up under it. And next, very similarly to the side taper guideline, your first guideline in the back is going to be no guard all the way open. You're going to take that 3/4 of an inch to an inch high. And next, what you're going to do is take that same no guard and you're going to close it all the way up and work at that bottom line using just the corners of your blade. And just slightly above that, you're going to open your lever about halfway. So not all the way up to the next guideline, but like right in the middle. And next you're going to take your one guard all the way closed and work at that bottom line. And it's a similar concept, just with a one guard on there. So now you're going to open that guard up halfway and still work your way up about 1/4 inch into the next section.